Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be a comparison video on Trayvon Bromell and Grasse. This is back when they were in college in 2015. I really like doing these comparison videos just because I think you get a lot of information being able to compare and contrast some of the top sprinters in the world. And this one, we're going to be putting a big emphasis on the start. So hopefully you can get a lot of great information from that. As always, if you like the information below, go ahead and click the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and share the video too. That really helps us out as well. And then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're gonna hop in the video right now. Okay, so going right from the start here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the steps here, and you can really see, some of the big changes or big differences between Trayvon Bromell and Grasse. You can see Trayvon Bromell here in the right, this is when he's at Baylor, and then Grasse on the left when he was at USC. And, the first step is where you can already see a difference, right? So Trayvon Bromell's already on the ground at 0.71, and I'm more of a person that is going to teach a fast contact time, fast transition time when it comes to the start. Everybody has different philosophies. Some people are more on the side of being able to take up more ground when it comes to the start. I think that being able to really maximize your, again, contact time and turnover really helps you in getting into your top end speed faster, which is going to be much more viable for people that are running like 40s or 60s, and even to me, even in the 100-yard dash, where Grasse has obviously had a lot more success in the 200 meter, and Trayvon Bromell in the 100 meter, and I think that's partially due because of his really fast start. So anyway, we'll go into his steps here. So 0.71 for Trayvon Bromell, and then when he hits the ground, and then 0.76 for Grasse. And then he's off at 0.88, so that's a 0.17 contact time. And Grasse is off at 0.91, so this is a 0.15 contact time. So he's actually able to get that better. And then you can see that Trayvon Bromell is back on the ground, 0.91. And Grasse is on the ground at 0.96. And then Bromell is off again at 0.08, so again, that's 0.17. And Grasse is off at 0.11, so that's again 0.15. So you have a bit of a difference, a little bit more time on the ground here, but the overall turnover is a little bit faster for Bromell, and this is where you start to see the difference. So now we're going to the third step, 0.13, and then the third step for Bromell, 0.19, and then you can see that Bromell is off at 0.27, right? So that ends up being, he hits the ground at about 0.15, boom, 0.15, and he's off at 0.27. So that ends up being a 0.12 contact time. So it made a big difference there, right? And then you can see Grasse hits the ground at 0.19 and is off at 0.36. So now he went up to 0.17, and then he went to 0.12. So he's starting to get a little bit more of a lead here. And then here, boom, 0.55, and Grasse hits at 0.63. He's off at 0.67, so again 0.12, and then Grasse is off at 0.76, so that's about 0.13, right? So it just goes into being able to get a really fast turnover. So you can see that Bromell is already starting to get those legs down a little bit quicker. So in terms of the difference here, Grasse is going more for length and trying to pick up a little bit more distance per step, where Bromell is trying to just get his feet going as fast as he can here as we get going. So I think that Bromell ends up getting into his top end speed a little bit faster. Both of these guys are at the highest level overall, and so whoever can get to their top end speed, I think ends up really putting themselves in a big advantage, and you can see how neck and neck they are like the whole time, right? They're both very equal in terms of their overall top speed. You can see that Grasse catches him a little bit here, and then Bromell starts to kind of pull away in this last like 10-15 meters. And what stands out to me about Bromell, and really Grasse too, is just they have such great frontside mechanics, right? When they cycle that leg all the way up and through, they're able to, and a lot of people talk about this where, if you land, or if you have your leg a little bit too straight, it ends up making it so you land a little bit more flat-footed, which I do agree with that. That does end up happening, but it ends up making it so you're also able to, one, be a lot more upright with the posture, which is, critical. And it also makes it so you can cycle your legs a lot faster. So you can see that, Bromell, for instance, is hitting his foot down here at 0.40, and he's right back off the ground at about 0.48. And Grasse is hitting the ground here at 0.48. and then is right back off the ground at 0.4 or 0.55. So both of them have elite contact times under 0.1, about 0.88 or 0.08 probably for both of them. In terms of how much time they're spending on the ground. And what's super impressive and what's really difficult overall in terms of being able to be an elite level sprinter is being able to maintain that upright position, as well as, Trayvon Bromell does it so well, where he's landing and he's so straight up as he's touching the ground that he's able to then just create that force right back up and continue that cycle. And that's what ends up being very, very difficult. And I'm sure, all the people that are sprinters are able to understand what I'm talking about, where, once you get being able to sprint for 50, 60, 70 meters, where you're very, very upright and you're landing with yourself very tall, it starts to become very, very fatiguing on your body to be able to maintain that really upright posture and being able to keep that real verticality in each one of your steps. It works a lot of your core, it works a lot of your legs, your quads, hamstrings, everything. It gets very, very fatigued, as well as so being able to maintain that power production out of the ankles, out of that lower body. So being able to really maximize that and work on that is something super, super important. You can tell both of them had great coaching in terms of being able to work on that frontside mechanics and are able to get a great reach. Look at how much in front Trayvon Bromell is able to reach. But what I would say is the improvements that they've made since being in college to now is being able to get a little bit more of a hip extension and really maximizing their backside mechanics. So right now what happens is that if you only utilize a certain part of the hamstring, you're going to end up putting yourself a little bit more susceptible to having hamstring injuries, right? So this is a little bit shortened in terms of, how much true hip extension he gets here. And, he's able to still transfer his legs over really, really well. And he runs a 9.9 here. So, 9.90. And so, obviously, he's doing a lot of things right, but I think what's helped him in being able to really have success here in the next level is being able to really work on his hip extension, and will continue to help him get more and more success, because he has, again, such a natural ability to create a large amount of force when his foot initially touches the ground, as well as being able to maximize that frontside mechanics really good. So the better he can get good hip extension and get a lot of strength within the hamstrings, I think the more speed he's going to be able to build in his overall performance. And Andre Grasse is a little bit different. They both have great posture. They both have great frontside mechanics. I think that DeGrasse is a little bit better with his backside mechanics. He's a lot more efficient overall as a sprinter. I think that's why he's goes into the 200 meters now, because he's just so efficient. He could hold this for a really, really long time, which is great. I think Trayvon Bromell would probably have a little bit more difficulty holding his mechanics for as long as he does, just because it's not as overall efficient. But being able to you can see with it, like his arm, Andre DeGrasse kind of straightens out that right arm a little bit early there. Something that's unique to him in terms of his arm mechanics. I really like Trayvon Bromell's arm mechanics and being able to really get great extension in the arm on both sides. Again, I would say the only thing that he could probably improve on, is probably working to improve on, is just being able to get more consistent hip extension, right? Because he does get some areas like this step right here, that's a lot better hip extension, right? So he does get some areas where he does have really nice hip extension, but I'd say that's part of the reason why he might have some hamstring tightness, is I don't think he's utilizing the full hamstring muscle as it's supposed to be worked, where it's supposed to stretch and then contract. He doesn't get as much of a stretch. He's just constantly contracting, which will cause hamstring tightness, hamstring pulls over a long period of time. All right, as always, thanks for watching these videos here. We have a lot of different links in the description down below to be able to help you out. We have, an ebook, we have different types of programs. We have a 7-day trial that you could try out to get you going with our program. There's a lot of people that are looking to get faster in their 40s. I'd highly recommend you checking out our program to be able to help you out with that. I know it might be a little bit of an investment, but it's going to definitely pay off in terms of being able to really maximize your 40-yard dash. There's so many people that struggle with their 40 because of their start, and that's why I really wanted to focus on the start here, is because once you can get really, really technically sound within those first 10, 15 yards and really maximize that, then you have that last 25 to 30 yards to be able to really get your turnover right and be able to hold your sprint. That's what is great again about watching these 100-meter guys, is they're sprinting for 60, 70 meters at least, right? And being able to really hold that for a long long period of time. For when it's running a 40-yard dash, you really are going to end up if you're doing great, you're able to hold your top speed for maybe 30 yards. 25 to 30 yards is really where you want to be at in terms of being able to really hold that top speed or in that top speed posture position. And so just being able to help you and understand how to get there more effectively will make it so you can really make a big difference on your 40 time. I'd say there's a lot of you that are probably watching here that are able to make a 3 to 4 tenths of the improvement on your 40 just by being able to improve in your start. That might seem like a lot, but trust me, you can get a lot better with your 40. We've done that before with people in the program. So highly recommend you at least try out the 7-day trial. If you like the information, would love to be able to talk to you more about the 40 and how we can help you out. As always, thanks for watching though. Subscribe to the channel, click the thumbs up down below. We'll talk to you soon.